Hello, my lovelies. It has been a while since I have filmed and also since I have even touched makeup. With everything crazy going on, I have not had any motivation to film. But I really wanted to just sit down and do something today, play with some makeup that I haven't tried before. So that's what we're going to do. Just jumping right into it, priming my skin with the NYX Bear With Me Primer Spray, popping on a little bit of eyeshadow primer. And then today we're going to be using this new to me, Pacifica little eyeshadow palette. This is the Wild Hemp palette. And we're going to start with this, the lightest matte shade, kind of this peachy shade. And we are going to just blend this into our crease. Really all it's going to do for us is be a transition shade, but it was a pretty good color for that. And then we're going to take the darker matte shade that's kind of a chocolatey brown, and we are going to pack this all over the lid, and then we'll just blend out the edges. The color on this was a lot softer than I had anticipated, but it's actually really pretty. I was super happy with how the shade looked, actually. So I am just taking that on a flat, more dense brush, and just packing that, starting at the lash line and working up. And then once we get to the crease area, I'm going to take a small little fluffy brush with just a little bit of that chocolate shade and just really buff it through the crease so that we have a nice blend there. Gonna go back over top with our first peachy shade just to touch up our blend a little bit. And then I'm going to take the darkest shimmer shade in the palette, and I'm going to try to apply this with a brush, but it really gives me almost no payoff with that, so I went ahead and just used my fingers. And I mean, that definitely gave me more payoff. It wasn't a super, intense shimmer shade. I would say this whole palette kind of has a more natural feel to it, so if that's not your thing, this might not be your palette, but I was pleasantly surprised with how it worked out. And then I am going to take, I didn't show it, but I'm taking the middle shimmer shade again on my finger, and I'm just blending that on the inner half of my eyelid so we have a little bit of a gradient, although it's not that noticeable. Then we're going to jump right onto skin. I'm starting by prepping my face with the Tarte Quench primer, and I expected this to be more of like a cream primer, like the moisturizing ones usually are, but it was more of a gel and it was very thin. But I did like the way that it made my skin feel, so there's that. And then today we're going to be using the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. That's a mouthful. And I have been using this for a little while. I like to use it just for my kind of daily makeup. And I've tried it with a sponge and I hated it. And I tried it with my fingers, which I hate using my fingers. So I wanted to try it out with a brush today. And oh my gosh, apply this product with a brush. I haven't used a brush for foundation in years, literally years. And I 100% recommend a brush with this product. The product goes way farther and you get way better coverage. So try that with a brush if you haven't yet. It will change your whole perspective of it. I'm going to take this under my eyes as well with just a little bit of a smaller buffing brush. It doesn't really give me any coverage under my eyes for the little dark circles that I've got going on. So I'm going to take just a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and just buff that out with the brush under my eyes. I'm not putting a ton down because this product does go a long way, and I don't want it to be super, super intense full coverage because we're going for a more natural look anyways. So we're going to go ahead and just buff that out. I took it up with this bigger brush in my inner kind of corner area, if you saw, and it totally messed up my eyeshadow, so make sure you're using a small brush for your inner corners. And then once I have my product mostly blended out, I'm going to just kind of buff it out with a sponge to give it a little bit more of a natural look. And then I am just pulling the leftover concealer I had down onto my cheeks where I have a little bit of extra redness. Gonna go ahead and set our face down with the Cody Airspun powder, and I will save you 2 minutes of me looking for my brush that I did not find, by the way. I still haven't found it, but I'm going to just use this giant powder brush instead, which actually probably works better because I'm going to get a lighter set so my face doesn't look as powdery. So we're just going to press a little bit of that powder all over our skin just to set down kind of the tackiness of this tinted moisturizer, which it usually has, and also to hopefully make the product last longer. I am going to take it on a smaller brush underneath my eyes just because we did use that concealer there. So I'm going to set that area a little bit more than I did the rest of my face. Going to go ahead and touch up my eyeshadow where I messed it up with the concealer. And then we'll be jumping onto the lower lash line, taking that chocolatey shade on just a little small shader brush. And I'm just going to buff this along the whole lower lash line. I'm going to take it pretty much all the way into the inner corner and then just connect it up to the eyeshadow on our upper lid. Or on our eyelid, I guess you don't have a lower lid. Then we're going to go ahead and take the lightest shimmer shade in the palette. And I'm taking this on a little small brush to highlight the inner corners. It didn't really make too much of a difference. I think all the shimmer shades are very similar in this palette, so there wasn't really a highlighting effect to it. Very much, if at all. But, I mean, still a pretty palette, just not for highlighting. I am trying out this new bronzer today from OFRA, which I was super excited to get. This is the Americano Bronzer, and this is just not the right color for my skin. It is very powdery, so definitely go in with a light hand when you're picking up your product, and make sure to tap off your brush or it will be crazy. I think it is just a little bit too orangey toned for me. I might mess around with it a little bit more and see if I can get it to work better with different face products, but like I put it on my forehead and all I can see is just like the line of difference no matter how much I blended it, and then it actually stuck really weird in that one spot, which I think is just that I didn't have it set down quite enough. So I don't know, I don't think this is for me, but I'm going to give it a few more tries before I give it away to someone else. Then once we're all bronzed, I'm going to take just a little bit of that bronzer on a smaller brush on the center of my nose, just so I don't have no color in the center of my face and all this color on the outer edges, but I did make sure to blend it out really well. For blush today, I am using the AOA Studio Lumi Radiant Blush in the shade Frantic Pink, which is just kind of a very pinky, it's like a baked blush, so it's very shimmery glowy, which is kind of what I was going for. And I'm actually trying this out on my nose today, which I haven't done, which has been going around a lot, and I actually really liked it. The blushy nose trend, I think I'll probably be doing some more of. But yeah, just applying that blush on our cheeks and then on our nose. And I'm trying out this new brush today for highlighter, which for highlighter I'm using the OFRA Star Island highlight, I believe. It's either that or the Moondance one. And I love this brush. This is the Luxie Pro Precision Tapered brush. And oh my gosh, first of all, it's so soft, but it applies highlighter so beautifully. And it's really nice because it initially applies it like very soft, which is perfect for people who don't want an intense highlight, or like when I do my chin and my forehead and I don't want a lot, but you can definitely also build it up. For brows, I am using the Anastasia Brow Duo. I can't remember the exact shade. I'll have that down in the description below if you're interested. And I'm really kind of doing messy brows today. So I am just taking the darker shade in the palette and filling in the tail area of my brows and along the bottom of my brows. And then I'm taking just the slightest bit of the lighter color and really just pushing that up so that it's not super filled in, but still a little filled in. And then I'm going to put a bunch of brow gel in them, and I'm really brushing it upwards so that they look a little bit more fluffy, a little bit less tamed. And so I'm just going to go over both of them a couple times, really pushing the hairs upward in the center and then obviously kind of angling down with the brow as it goes farther. Then we're going to go ahead and set everything down with the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Hydrating Setting Spray. And I don't know if you can see this, but this setting spray has the most beautiful mist. Like, oh my god, it's amazing. Like we talk about the perfect, just like soft mist, and this is it. Gonna go ahead and curl my lashes once our face has dried down, and then pop on the NYX On The Rise mascara, or Liftscara, I guess they call it. And we're just going to really build this up on the lashes, and definitely for this look, because it's a lot lighter, it's definitely not one that I feel like you need the false lashes on, but I mean, for video's sake, I'm going to go ahead and put some of my lighter ones on, or smaller, I guess is maybe the right word. I do totally think it looks fine without it, but I'm going to go ahead and pop on my red cherry lashes. This is the Nude Onyx style of lash. And I'm just going to quickly pop those on. And then we will go ahead and finish up the look with some lipstick, which today I am using the Finding Ferdinand Au Naturel lipstick, which is a really pretty matte. I actually adore this color just by itself. I think it's a really, really good nude for me. But I have been absolutely loving glossy lips lately, and I feel like that really just goes with the look. So after this, we're going to go ahead and pop on the Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm in the shade Confetti, and I actually wish I would have used a different colored one, because this actually gave a little bit of an iridescent color to my lips, whereas I think like a brown or a pink would have been a lot prettier. But it still made them glossy and did a good job. So, but yeah, that is going to be it for this look, actually. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. I really do like most of the products that I tried out today, other than maybe the bronzer that gave me some issues. But, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please, please, please stay healthy, stay safe as much as you can. I will try and put up more videos here soon. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell before you go. And I'll see you guys all in my next one.